And go.
Shane Bruce, Restomod Daisy, and man oh man do we have something to show you today. As we continue our exposure of the mighty Daisy Defender series, you are now proudly staring at a Daisy Defender Model 140 1,000-shot BB gun.
Wow.
Take a look at it. Tell you what, let's flip it up and get a shot of the roll stamp.
Just gotta get that out of the way.
Yep. I'm gonna
got it.
Gently roll through. Plymouth, Michigan gun.
She's working. All
right, now let's flip it back down and we'll start at the stern and head to the muzzle, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Daisy Defender Model 140. The 140 was only built in 1942, about 28,000 units produced before those Japanese pounced on us at Pearl Harbor, and Daisy had to give up making toy guns and move on to making legitimate war supplies. All right. It's a departure for Daisy from the Model 40 Defender because they went from a single wooden stock to the two chunks of wood stock and utilized the fat boy or wide body frame to manufacture this gun. It's got a couple of unusual features to it that we'll reveal in greater detail later on, but I just want to show you this right away. You're not mistaken, that is a bolt action. It is not a traditional bolt action. It is actually a manual safety. And unless this is down in this position, the trigger will not engage. So when you do that, trigger don't work, snap that down, trigger works. Now watch this little piece of magic. If you arm the gun, and this one's got a pretty stout spring in it, it automatically sets the trigger. So before you can fire the gun, you have to lower the bolt. Really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, this came in from a subscriber who bought it. He wants it cleaned up a touch, and it needs to be cleaned up a touch. Let's get as close as we can down here to the surface finish. That's actual rust on top of patina. So,
hold on, let me back it up. I got a little too zealous.
A little too close?
A little too crazy.
Okay, that's actual rust. You probably pick it up if I do this quietly. Hear that? That's my finger brushing over rust that's over the patina. So we want to knock that back, and we'll do that with some 4X steel wool and some Croil. And it's pretty much all over the gun. When we get the forestock off, you'll see what I'm talking about there. Anyway, so we're just going to clean it up. Mechanically, the gun with oiled seals runs about 304, 305 feet a second. Phenomenal for a gun of this age. Phenomenal. So we're not touching anything on the inside other than at some point or other, I'll pull the plunger, take a look at it. If it's got any surface rust or imperfections, we'll clean that up. But we're not swapping seals, we're not swapping mainsprings, we're not swapping air tubes. Gun runs just fine like it is. All right, let's start down here to the buttstock. Now this is a hardwood stock, but I believe it to be popular with a walnut stain. You can see the original finish here. Now this is very common in varnish finishes. Over time, they will start feathering. You'll see a difference in texture between this surface and where the finish starts. The gun's going to be left in original condition pretty much as it is. And you can see where the varnish got kind of slathered on. Maybe somebody's refinished this in the past. Maybe not. I don't know. But as we travel down toward the butt, we see more evidence of exactly that going on. And then it has a barrel band, but you'll notice that this wide body Daisy does not have any locator pins in it, which is good news for us. And here's another interesting little tidbit. Look at that, a lightning loader feed tube. Yep, it was set up for the lightning loader BB feed system that was pioneered on the number 108 Model 39. Nice tall front sight ramp, and I have to draw your attention to this. This is a peened front sight band. Peened, not spot welded. So this puts this gun in 1942. Let's flip her over and take a look at the other side, and we'll examine some other oddities, like the fully adjustable rear sight. Now, it's adjustable for elevation and windage. It's got that little ladder thing that you see on so many Daisies. The current Red Ryder has one of them in a different position. But you'll also notice it has a screw in the center and a slot. So this sight is windage adjustable, elevation adjustable. Windage adjustable, elevation adjustable. Wow. Super cool. Not common. It's on this gun and a couple other guns that I've seen that are older guns, pre-war guns. Now, let's see, that takes care of all the external stuff. Oh, cast iron lever, at least I forget, not aluminum. And we talked about the barrel band, and it's got a little slot there so that you can get a sling on it, which meets up with this very robust rear sling attachment. The gun was issued with a sling, and the only thing rarer than a Model 140 Defender is a Model 140 Defender with the factory sling.
Surprise.
We have a ghost sling here. You just have to imagine it. All right, now I'm going to take it apart. Before you start taking any old guns like this apart, the day before actually, you probably want to get in the habit of getting a penetrating oil. Now here at Restomod, we don't use arrow Croil anymore. Why? Because we ran out. We don't have any. But we do have a gallon of Croil, which we use in this kind of dispenser. It's a neat little system. You just squirt a little bit up at the top. You got a couple of drops there. And before you do your disassembly, put a few drops of Croil on stuff. It will help get in underneath the rust and loosen the old grease and grime so that disassembly becomes not so arduous and an easier task. Doesn't take a whole lot. Croil is very, very effective.
So now you have your 10-man oil on the gun. What are we doing now?
Well, you know, I wish I had a metal thing that went crinky crinky every time you pumped it. I mean, this is neoprene. That's so modern.
We're 2023, dude. Come on.
True. All right, so let's get started. It's a wide body, so it's just like a 99, a 95, a 96, a 98, a 97, any of the other wide bodies. You may vary your process any way you wish, but I normally start by taking the lever off. We've got a nut on the back side, so we grab our handy dandy nut driver, and we take that out of there. Looks like I'm going to have to wipe my slop off here real quick. Let me do that. It doesn't hurt. Croil never hurts. Croil only makes the gun feel better. All right, so we get that bolt off so that we can get this, that nut off so we can get this bolt off. Now, these are old slot tip screws. You got to be super careful with them because they weren't built out of the toughest, roughest steel you could find. And if you're not careful, you'll go ahead and flex them out. This one's in really good nick. Notice it has the ancient old washer that was located with these. Okay, now pop that out of the lever trap. Come on, and place it off the side. Like I said, cast iron lever, long pivot or low pivot gun. All right, so that's out of the way. Next step. Now on the 140 Defender, they have gone with a through bolt as opposed to 2 wood screws to attach the buttstock. So we're going to take this out oh so carefully, because this one's already had a rough life. You can see it because the slot gap is a bit larger than it should be. All right, so we got it there. Let's take her on out. And as you'll notice, this is a long bolt, longer than the trigger bolt. We're fixing to look at it real quick after we get the top stock screw out of play. Here's the top stock screw. And this is what holds the back of the receiver. Oh, look at that. She's trying to spin on me. Up.
Can I hold it?
Yeah, well, can you?
Yeah, I can hold it. I got one free hand.
All right. No, she's just being real.
Oh.
All right, we're going to swap bits real quick.
Cruel mistress. It doesn't want to come out.
Well, you know, it wants to come out.
You claim that, but alas,
It wants to come.
Nuts, bolts, screws. Oh my!
I don't think I've got the right slot tip there. Let me see. It's hard to see with the camera in the way.
Yeah, sorry.
Nope, I'm not going to force that.
Ready?
No, we're not pausing nothing.
No, why would I pause?
I
mean, after this one, I'll pause, but.
Well, we may end up pausing because that's just being
pause
ridiculous. Pause it.
She's unpaused.
Okay, tip. Next time, take this screw out before you take the bolts out of the stock. And the wood was causing it to bend and bite, and it was being unpleasant. But
so
you got
that one first.
This one first, I would recommend.
Based on my direct
personal experience right now. All right, and as you can see, it's the long stock screw.
Wow.
All right, next step is to, oops.
What did you forget?
Nothing. Pull the buttstock off. Keep the trigger return spring in place. Now you'll note that the Model 140 has a folded metal trigger, not the target trigger associated with the 99. So what we're going to do next is take the trigger out of place, and then we're going to pull the forearm. Because we got to clean this thing up, and I know that there's rust. Well, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure.
We're make an assumption here.
I believe there will be rust under that wood. Why would there not be?
You never know.
It's a good place for rust to hide. So back that out. Once you get the screws disengaged, fight with it a little bit. Call it nasty names. There we go. All right. Now let's take a look here. This is a standard trigger screw and stock screw for a small frame Daisy. That's the stock screw for the Defender. See how much longer it is? Because the Defender stock is so much wider than a regular Daisy stock. And that's why that exists the way it does. All right, so now we've got our trigger disassembled. Not quite extracted, but disassembled. Wait a minute here.
What?
Oh my. Well, here's something I didn't look at.
What?
Check it out. There's a transfer bar in there.
Oh. That would probably explain how that locks and not, eh?
Yeah, so this is not a standard folded metal trigger. No, no, no.
Well, we'll have to do a separate video on it, Dad, I guess.
Well, we're going to get it out of there irregardless.
Well, that's fine.
So let's get the front end off. Now, normally on these you will manually move them off because they're just tapped in place. Yeah, there we go. Making some progress. Oh, it's going to take a while. Oh, yeah, it's going to take a while. But,
years later.
well, minutes later.
Oh, okay.
Of course, in a world that 60 seconds is eternity, I guess that is years later.
Yeah.
But as you can see, you can work off the front barrel band. Now, when we get the front barrel band worked off, we're going to discover a surprise.
Oh.
It's going to be a mystery.
Oh, mystery.
A mystery. And I would like if any subscriber out there knows why the mystery is the way it is, or could help us solve the mystery, pitch into the comments there and tell us why they did it this way. So, here we go. We work it off. We slide it off. We work it off. We slide it off.
You got this.
We get it off.
You got this.
We get it off. But now, what do you think? You think you'll ever get that off?
This is like a puzzle.
Do you think that can actually come off of there?
Twist it sideways?
I don't know. But let's go ahead and get the forearm off so we can review. Oh, wait a minute. You're
Sorry. No, I got distracted. I got distracted.
All right, here we go. Now we're ratcheting this out. Same deal. Longer bolt than you would normally see on a small frame. And because this is one of the few wide bodies that had a through bolt, they have two long through bolts. All right, so now you just pop the forend off. And here's our first surprise. Check it out. The lightning loader tube is only about 5 inches long.
Oh, it's a showpiece.
Check that out. It's tack welded to the barrel shroud. And the button that you really can't see it. Well, I'll take the shot tube out. How about that? Take the shot tube out, and you'll notice. Oh, a BB was in there. You'll notice that the button for the shot tube covers up the feed hole, and that in turn, this is where you actually put the BBs in. But that little button helps keep them from falling the hell out. So there we go. The mystery of the barrel band. It can't go that way. It can't go this way. It can't go that way. Was it just built? Did they build the barrel band first and then build the gun inside it?
Probably just. You're gonna have to take.
That's like a ship in a bottle. Yeah, like a ship in a bottle.
They probably weren't intending for it to be disassembled. So.
All right, so now we find we've got some gold paint here.
Wow.
Now, I don't really know how that happened, but also here you can see chunks of rust that have to be treated with coil and 4O steel wool, get it smoothed up so it looks like that. Bless you. Bless you.
Ugh.
And now I suppose we will move on to the mystery of getting this out of here. Let's see. Yeah, that's an entire assembly.
Just when you think you saw everything.
Yeah, I'm really wondering now.
Oh, man.
Oh! Easy enough.
Wow.
All right, just like the, there's a spring in there.
Ooh.
One wonders.
Whoa.
All right, well
it's out now, so.
And there is the red indicator pin that should have been popping up when the gun was in the open, closed bolt mode, according to what I've read.
Oh, there it is. You were looking for that earlier, weren't you?
Yeah. And here we have this material in here. That'll take a while to figure that out. I was hoping for a very simple method of engaging that safety, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get it. Now, getting back to the trigger. Now that that's out of the way, wow.
Whoa.
Look at that. Look at that.
Wow.
I guess this came in like so.
I couldn't tell you.
That's got to engage that somehow or other. But this has got to fit through there. And then we have that spring.
And there's the clip for the spring.
Yeah. Well, that'll be a mystery. I got a feeling we'll be doing a video on that all by its lonesome. We know that goes there, so we're going to leave it there, and that's where it sits on this side. That's grease? Oh, that's steel. Anyway, that'll be mysterious to see. Now, let's see. I need to pull that plunger real quick. So let's get a. Oh, that's the barrel band rattling around.
Yeah.
All right, so let's set this over here. We'll get that sussed out a little bit later. That'll be an interesting little project. And see what we can do with getting that mainspring out. Is that going to fit? No, too big. So it's over to the bench.
To the bench, to the vise.
I have to put the cut me compression tool in place.
Okay. Don't cut yourself.
I'm really going to work on it. Is that cockeyed? No. I'm still not past the back end of the plunger. I'm on the mainspring, but it don't want to move.
Oh, is she in there, dude?
Yeah.
Do you need pliers?
Looks like it's going to be video number 2.
That'll happen.
Well, anyway,
we'll go over the rest
back to the bench we go. And let's see, mysteries. How did they get the barrel band on? Why did they use the abbreviated shot tube? Probably because they didn't want to run steel all the way down there. And how does this trigger work in this receiver with the bolt safety? Well, we'll have answers to these questions in the next video we do on this 140 Defender after we get it cleaned up and figured out. That's all we've got for you today, kids. This is Shane Bruce, Restomod Daisy, signing off.
Oh, man.